You will bring people, guests like they did, and then like you saw the Irish ambassador who said that potholes are now attracting tourists. He was just being funny. we
tongue in cheek.
Yes. So I have told this story of Moses Biarahanga to every audience. I was with him on a KLM flight, and all the attendants said, I will go for my Christmas in Kilimanjaro. Poor Biarahanga started pleading. We have better this in Uganda, we have better this, yeah. And the lady said, no.
Gorillas.
We usually sleep in Entebbe. But one time the hotels were full, we wanted to go to Kampala. Your roads, animals are crossing, all the people are there. And you see, if Biarahanga meant well, he should have taken notice to come and speak to all other government agencies. You may have visitors, because you see, attending a meeting of the speakers is routine. They will go to any other country. But how you present yourself, that's why the other I said, you will need to wash your face before you go to receive guests. You can't have a city in a state like the one of Chisaka today, and you host 3 meetings, because these visitors may not come back easily. What they take away... No, these days...
Yes, go on.
So and then the key discussions in these meetings was democracy. How does Parliament help the process of democracy in this country? And of course, Katesh sees only tourism. But this meeting wasn't about tourism. It was about democracy, all the themes. How does Parliament help democratize the country? And then the one who is going to give a very good speech, he has been in power for 40 years. Maybe he should have been given a tag to attend the meeting, to run, instead of giving a speech. So really, everything that can go wrong for a meeting went wrong.
Okay.
That you have brought speakers to speak about democracy and how parliaments can help a country to be democratic. And then the monument of that country is a 40-year... Yeah, and is the one speaking, and Katesh says, oh, they went very happy that he gave a very good speech. There's nothing to learn from someone who has been in power forever.
Okay.
So now, the parliament hasn't...
Thank you. Navi, you have already spoken. So let me cross over to some positives. I'll start with Mr. Fred Magezi Kirinju of State House. You start with a positive communication on how we have benefited from the Speakers Conference. He's a communications officer, State House.
I am actually happy there. All vehicles are parked in Call. We don't need all these vehicles for government people.
Thank you, Mr. Oscar. Good morning, the gangsters. Happy New Year. Good morning, the listeners. And Happy New Year 2024. Straight away, let me start with the positives, especially on tourism. First of all, tourism is an industry that survives on perception, how you present yourself. Recently, Magezi Chirinju.
Communication officer. The thing is, you don't listen. Let him present.
So I'm still around you.
Yeah.
So we have had a challenge with the industry, starting with COVID, and then when we are recovering from COVID, then we got ADF killing students, then killing tourists. So the image was really having an issue. But the coming of this, first of all, the Speakers Conference, now I'm coming in, and then G77, already that means a vote of confidence. Because you see, many times when bad news breaks, and of course, like for the tourists, it was covered in Uganda, it was covered internationally, and amazingly, some of these countries like US and the UK also, when a story comes to them, for them their perception of it is totally different. They could think the whole country is at war, but when you have international conferences coming in, like the Speakers Conference just ended, and then this coming too, it gives the country, that perception break, that no, look, things are not as we thought they are. So that was the first benefit. Of course, the second benefit is whoever has business that these visitors had to use is smiling all the way to the bank and probably opening a new account because more are coming. So if you do not have anything you are selling, you cannot say the market is not working. Okay, maybe you can say the market is not working since you are selling nothing there. But ideally, if you have what to sell to these visitors, you must be one of the happiest people. Then two, these products we use, we are not importing matoke for these visitors. Or importing meat, where it is supplied by Ugandans. So Ugandans are the supply chain, the suppliers of hotels are benefiting. Then also, of course, the owners of accommodation, places, the hotels, those ones are making a killing. I'm sure you may not get to sleep in Entebbe, you may not get to sleep in Gaba. Then also, of course, transporters. Most of the guests are being transported by government, but there are all the others who are also opting for private travel arrangements. Those Ugandans who own travel companies are also benefiting. So the multiplier effect is really big, and it is. Secondly, the Uganda Tourism Board vision for Uganda is to have to be the biggest destination for MICE. That is meetings and incentives and events. And these three meetings in Uganda, these two conferences in Uganda, are playing into that very vision that you needed a convention center. We have one. Now, the more the more conferences we get, it means that even at private level, if you have a hotel that has been stuck at 3-star, you start realizing when the conferences came, visitors spilled over to you, and they barely stayed just because the place was full. So you'd be like, let me try and also upgrade to 5-star, whereby I'm no longer the last option. I'm among the first options. So the benefits, apart from the political ones, really for tourism, it is a good thing.
Okay. More positives on the benefits of a speakers conference.
I will speak about the three conferences so that, because we don't have much time, these meetings, like everybody ought to really know, is that they give us country profile mileage, especially in a world where terrorism and other threats scare away people. Secondly, when there is aggressive competition to attract visitors and investors, so they help us build our...
Kenya has been getting a large share.
Country profile. And all these negatives notwithstanding, the records show that Uganda is attracting more investors. This last year ending, this year that has ended, Uganda outperformed the region, the countries in the EAC. Out of 13.7 billion US dollars of FDI, Uganda took the lion's share at 10.2. Kenya, which used to be, took just 1.0. Tanzania 1.03. 1.3. So
these are 2023 statistics.
Yes. So that's in FDI. Our own tourism numbers, Honorable Ssemujju has just talked about our, just in Entebbe alone. We now have 1.8 million people annually coming into Uganda. 4-5 years ago, we had like 800. And even when we may complain about dilapidated, pothole things, infrastructure, but these help us build infrastructure, even when we do for visitors. But fortunately, these are not, yes, the visitors coincide with it. Now, the Commonwealth speakers, we have 54 countries that were invited. 72. No, 54 for the speakers. Now, the